Good morning, B-class students. It's your Uncle William back for week number 8. And today we're going to start Unit 7, My World. Today we're going to look at grammar, relative clauses, starting with who, which, or where. We're going to focus on talking about people, places, and things. Vocabulary definitions, and American versus British English. So let's take a look at these pictures. Do you know what animal this is? That's called a hippo. Hippopotamus. Okay, let's go to the next page and listen to the conversation between Abigail and Jack.
Unit 7, page 44, conversation.
Hey Jack, come and see these photos I just found on this memory stick. They're from our vacation in Kenya.
Oh yes, that must be 3 years ago. Hey, that looks like a nice place. Where's that?
That's the hotel where we stayed. Don't you remember? We were there for 2 weeks.
Really? No, I don't remember it at all. What was it like?
Don't ask me what it was like. You were there. Honestly. And here's another one. Surely you remember this.
Possibly. Is that the lake which was near the hotel? They wouldn't let me go swimming in there, would they?
No, because it was full of hippos and crocodiles. I don't know how you could forget that. Oh, look. Here's one of Susie.
Let me see. Who's she? I don't think I've seen her before.
Yes, you have. She's the woman who we had dinner with every evening. How could you forget?
Ah, that's easy, darling, because I only have eyes for you.
Okay, and if you have a partner there, you can practice reading that conversation. If you look closely, you can see some words in there. Where and which down here. And let's take a look at the language box. And you see those words. Who, where, and which. So let's listen first.
Unit 7, page 44, language box.
She's the woman who we met on vacation. That's the hotel where we stayed. That's the lake which we swam in.
Okay, so these words are the beginning of a clause. A clause is all of the words that come after. Who we met, where we stayed, which we swam in. Okay, and that's called a relative clause. So let's take a look at those on page 108. We use defining relative clauses to say exactly which people, places, and things we are talking about. We use who to refer to people. Who is only people. So she's the woman. A woman is a person, so we use who. We use which to refer to things. A book is a thing. This is the book which you lent me. Okay, and where, let me get there we are. Where to refer to places. That's the place where. You have to be careful with place because we can also use which for place. But for this sentence, place is a where. Okay. And we can also use that if you're speaking to someone, you can use that for people, things, and places. But on a test, on my test, you can't use that. So don't worry about that. But if you're talking to somebody, use that. It's a lot easier. Okay, in this box here, the pronouns who, which, and where, or that, can be the subject or the object. The man works in the bank. The man is John's brother. The man who works in the bank is John's brother. Here it's a pronoun. Okay. I don't think we need to know too much more about that. Let's move down. We can leave out the object pronoun in a defining relative clause. Okay, let's go back up. This one, the man is John's brother. I saw the man in the bank. The man who I saw in the bank is John's brother. Who here is an object pronoun. I is the subject. Okay. The difference is who here is a subject pronoun. The man who. And who here is an object pronoun. I is the subject. Okay. And you can leave out the object pronoun in a defining relative clause. The man who I saw in the bank is John's brother. Or, the man I saw. We don't need to use who. Okay? However, we can't leave out subject pronouns. The man who works in the bank is John's brother. We can't leave out who there. You have to say who. Okay, let's go to the next page. Complete the sentences using who, which, and where. Go ahead and stop your video and do those. Okay, the answers. Okay, let's look at some of those. You might be confused on. Teacher is a person, so we use who. Supermarket on the corner is a place. We use where. Man who. Okay, those are okay. Let's go down to one you might be confused about. Village where, restaurant where, person who. Office where, book which. Okay, they're all pretty straightforward. I think you can do them all. Experience is a thing, so which. Make sentences using these words and who, which, and where. For example, That's the pen which I lent you last week. So stop your video and work on those. Okay, let's take a look. That's the man who. She's the assistant who. Dog is a tricky one. Is a dog a person? No. So a dog is which? Boy who? Coffee shop where? Okay. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay, let's go back to vocabulary. We have some very nice words here. Adaptable, adventurous, ambitious. If any of you like to write or you want to write a book, you can use these words and people will really love your writing. Picturesque, it's a great word. Okay, so you can use your dictionary and find the definition of the word and write it down. Okay, let's see the answers. Okay. Which word is your favorite word? I like this word, picturesque. Okay. And I like this word, adventurous. How about you? Okay. If you have a partner there, you can ask questions and test each other. And let's go to the real life exchange. Before you listen, complete the conversation using who, which, or where. Okay, now let's listen and check.
Unit 7, page 45, real life exchange.
That's the park where you play soccer, isn't it?
Yes, and over there is the new restaurant which I told you about.
Oh, yes, the one which sells great pizza.
That's right. The guy who makes them is Italian.
Great. Oh, it has a terrace. I love places where you can eat outside.
Well, the weather's good. Let's go and have lunch.
Okay, you can listen to that again if you want. Just rewind on your system there. And the answers are okay, so park where? Restaurant which? See, I told you there's going to be a tricky one in there. Tricky, that's a word we learned. Tricky. Okay. Anyway, there's a tricky one in there. And restaurant. This restaurant is not where. If you're saying over there, we don't usually use where. We use which. Over there's the coffee shop, which sells good coffee. Actually, I take that back. we need to look at this part here. I told you about. Okay? So if I said, over there's the new restaurant where the food is good. But we use which because I told you about. Okay. It's a small difference, but it's the one which sells great pizza. Okay. That's right, the guy who. And I love places where you can eat outside. You see, this place here uses where. Okay. That's a tough one. Okay, and let's go down to this part. We have some question tags. So complete the questions with the question tag. Okay, let's listen.
Unit 7, page 45, strategy. 1.
That's the hotel which we stayed at last year, isn't it?
Yes, I think it is.
2.
You won't forget the party tonight, will you?
Of course not.
3.
You're wearing a new dress, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
4.
You haven't found the bag you lost, have you?
No, I haven't.
5.
You went to the restaurant I told you about, didn't you?
Yes, I did. It was great.
Okay, you can listen to those again if you need to. And the answers are... Okay. So the very easy thing to do is to look at the verb in the question. That is the hotel. Is not. Okay, same verb. You will not forget. Will you? Okay, this is negative. Will not. Positive. Will. This is positive. Is. This is negative. Is not. You are wearing. Are not. You. Okay. You have not is negative. Have you? Okay. And the last one is a little harder. You went. We don't use went for a question tag, so we just use did or didn't. Didn't you? Okay. Let's end it off today on page 123. Pronunciation. And we're on Unit 7, question tags. When the voice goes down, we're asking for a confirmation. When the voice goes up, we're asking a real question. Okay, listen.
Unit 7, page 123, pronunciation A.
You're 23 years old, aren't you? You're 23 years old, aren't you?
Okay, so you see the first one goes down because she already knows he's 23. She just wants a confirmation. But on the second one, she doesn't know. She's asking a question. So it goes up. Okay, let's go down to part C. Which ones are questions?
Unit 7, page 123, pronunciation C. 1,
There's a party tonight, isn't there?
2,
You've done your homework, haven't you?
3,
They're good people, aren't they?
4,
You didn't miss me, did you?
5.
We weren't wrong, were we?
Okay, so which ones are the questions? Right, 1 and 5. So listen to those again and practice reading those. And I'll leave you there for today. Stay safe out there. Have a nice week. And I'll see you next week. Uncle William signing off.